Good evening. We will call the Madison School Board to order and start with our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
Here.
Mrs. Cotterman?
Here.
Mr. Mosier?
Here.
Miss Amy Walker?
Here.
Mr. Wigton?
Here. We need a motion to adopt our agenda.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mrs. Cotterman?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Miss Amy Walker?
4.
Mr. Wigton?
4. We need a motion to approve our previous board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Miss Amy Walker?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mrs. Cotterman?
4.
Mr. Wigton?
4. We have no presentation of certificates, and now we have the time to recognize visitors who wish to speak. I see none. Committee reports. Legislative Committee.
No report this evening.
Athletic Board of Control, we had that last meeting, so. Student representative comments.
Hi, my name's Olivia. I was at the last board meeting last year. I don't know if you guys remember me, but I'm the new student council president. So I just have what's going on with the school and sports and all that. So to start with sports, our girls tennis team, we have the Madison invite coming up this Saturday, and the team of Brooke Hill and Kylie Ryder are currently undefeated for the season, so that's really good for them. Cross country is running at Ashland this weekend. They had a good meet last weekend as well. Football, cheerleading, band, they're all going to be against Ontario this Friday, so that's cool. And band is doing a Disney theme this year to match their Disney trip that they're going on this winter, so that's a lot of fun. Boys golf, they've placed third twice so far, and Joshua Atwell has won the lowest round ever at the Hillsdale golf match, so that was really great for him. Volleyball is playing tomorrow at Mansfield. They've had a good season so far, a lot of good games. Boys soccer is 5-1 on the season so far, so they're doing really well. They play at Westerville tomorrow as well. And then on the school side of things, we started school recently, as you guys know. And open house, we did it earlier this year than we have in past years. And I've heard from both staff and students that everyone really likes that, and that it gave people more time to get to know their teachers, know what they need for the class. So everyone really liked the open house earlier in the year. Homecoming, we're planning for homecoming. We're doing a disco theme this year. So that's a lot of fun, and we're starting selling tickets and all that and doing all the planning. And we have new administration, as we know. I've heard a lot of positive feedback, and we're all really happy with that. So that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Olivia.
Facilities report. I assume, or are you doing that now?
I'll just do that in my superintendent's
Gotcha.
update.
Board policy.
The committee met last week for about 2 hours. We have lots of policies coming to you for our first reading next month.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Student achievement.
Okay, so Eastview Elementary has recently been awarded a $1,500 grant through the Harry and Lois McAuliffe Fund to promote literacy, appreciation, and enrichment throughout the school and community with One Book, One School program. This will be the second year that they've done the program, and they're very excited to bring the opportunity to the Eastview students and families. On Monday, August 29th, they had a Rams rally. At this rally, they focused on building expectations and had an Olympic ceremony for students who worked hard and participated in the iReady learning program over the summer. At the high school, they did an end-of-course exam raffle. It's an incentive program for students who display high achievement on their state tests. For every test a student takes, they have an opportunity to have their name entered in a raffle. Students that score a proficient rating have their name entered once in the raffle. Students that have an accelerated rating have their name entered twice. Lastly, students who achieve an advanced rating are entered into the raffle 3 times. Student volunteers pulled 3 winners today, and each winner won a $100 Amazon gift card. So the 3 winners were Allie Wigton, Aiden Mooneyham, and Destiny Bertram. At Mifflin, there was, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it to pull up. They were also awarded a $1,500 literacy grant. Pretty much the same grant, it sounds like, that Eastview was granted. At the middle school, they're off to a great start in relation to student achievement. Currently, all students are completing beginning of year diagnostics in ELA and math through the Universal District Screeners, iReady and IXL. This gives a baseline to assess students' current learning levels and abilities from which learning paths through these applications, and so that teachers can target learning needs. Additionally, all students have begun reviewing how to log into Gradebook to check their grades each week. Checking grades and having the opportunity to receive intervention and support is part of what the students complete during the week in RAMS time. This is a time at the beginning of each school day to support students with learning support. Additionally, staff are also working through the first year of creating highly qualified student data assessment examples for the Ohio Teacher Evaluation System. This is the district's first year completing the initiative as part of the OTES 2.0. With the student achievement initiatives and more, we're looking forward to a great school year.
Thank you. Superintendent's update.
Okay, as Olivia alluded, we are up and running. The students have 10 days under their belt, only 166 to go, but who's counting? We're really focused on improvement as far as achievement and growth goes, and closing those learning gaps that we know were created during COVID. A special focus on ELA and math, and also increasing our behavior expectations for our students. The student behavior was definitely not up to par and up to expectations during COVID, and we know that had a lot to do with it. So, we've worked really hard with the students over the last couple years and continue to do so. So those behavior expectations are in place and have been increased. Senior citizen luncheons, just want to make you aware that those will not start until October. We're doing the construction on the coffee bar and the Ramble Inn. So the first one will be October 6th, and we'll do 2 in October. Also, just most of you know that we did recognize our 1971 and 1992 football teams at the football game Friday night, and thought that was very deserved recognition, and the guys, as well as some of the gals came who were cheerleaders during those years, really enjoyed it and appreciated the opportunity to do that. Along with that, the class of 1972 is having their reunion this year, and Mr. Muro and I will be taking them on a tour of this building on September 17th as part of their reunion activities. And just a reminder of the work session, which is 2 weeks from today, that we will have to review financial data as we potentially will be seeking a levy next spring. So we'll be reviewing that data at the work session. Lastly, regarding facilities, just one item to report on is our HVAC project. We had hoped that it would be completed by now, but they are not complete. However, Mifflin is supposed to be, should be operational starting next week. By September 12th, Eastview should be up and running. September 26th, Madison South. And as soon as Madison South's done, then the work will begin at the high school. So we should have all the elementaries up and running by the end of the month, and not sure on the timeline at the high school, but
Time to turn on the heat.
yeah, probably about the first cold day, we'll have it ready to go. So that's my report.
Sorry, guys. Thank you. Presentations. Sonia. Brett.
Okay, I gave you a copy of PowerPoint, so you don't have to turn around and look up if you don't want to. You can follow along on the paper copies. Going to start out by just giving you an update of how last year ended up. We were able to run 9 of our 10 career development programs. Unfortunately, we weren't able to run medical and legal office due to low enrollment. But in those 9 programs, we did enroll 144 students. And of those 144 students, we completed 95 of them. 24 are still enrolled and continuing their training, and 25 withdrew. We did hold graduation on August 6th. That was a postponed date. We don't normally hold graduation that late, but on June 17th, when we were supposed to have it, the power decided to go out at 2 p.m. that afternoon. So we had to cancel and move it, but it still was a great celebration for our students that attended. I want to make reference to the 95 that completed that. If you take out the continuing from the calculation, it gives us a 79% completion rate. We are happy with that. Obviously, we'd like to have higher, but if you look at some of those identified risk factors, we have a student advocate, and she assesses and works with each one of our students that's enrolled in our programs. And some of the risk factors she was able to identify with a lot of our students are listed there that they deal with on a daily basis. And for them to have, to feel unsafe at home, have inadequate transportation, inadequate childcare, it just makes it very challenging for them to handle all that, and try to manage that, go to work, come to class. To have a 79% completion rate, we're extremely happy with. So, and our student advocate, these individuals that have a lot of these risk factors, she works with them day in and day out and hooks them up with community resources to help them be able to reach their educational and career goals. So we're real happy to have her on board with us. Our workforce and personal interest courses, we did offer 84 of those. Unfortunately, we were only able to complete 16 of those. But of those 16 that we were able to run with adequate enrollment, we were able to service 112 adult students. Those short-term classes have really slowed down for us ever since COVID hit. Just not many people taking those classes for fun or just brushing up on some of their skills. So hopefully we'll see that increasing again. Our adult diploma program stayed pretty consistent. We enrolled 18 students last year, and 14 of them completed, finishing their program successfully, earning their credential and adult high school diploma, giving us a 78% success rate. So we were pleased with that. You can see what the results were the year before, 15 of 20 and a 75%. And we're super excited this year. We've introduced 2 new programs, customer and office support technology and nail technician. So we're looking forward to those. Our employer services, I've listed there for you what we did as far as employer services. Several of those contracts we maintained. The Emerson Machinist Safety Training was new. Again, those services have also slowed down because of employers having trouble getting enough employees. They need them working. They can't be sending them out for training and having them off the production for training. So that has slowed down quite a bit too. We still have employers sending people into some of our classes that are off the clock, out of their work schedule, but hopefully that'll start picking up again. We'll see, what happens. Hopefully people can get people, back to work. Updates moving into this next school year. I don't mind the little barcode yet, but 22-23 enrollment, we are still enrolling students. Most of our programs start in September, some in October, so we're in the process of enrolling students in our career development programs. We have 3 of them starting next week. And then our workforce and personal interest classes, again, they don't start for another couple weeks. So we're enrolling in those. But what's new and exciting this year is our new student enrollment portal. I think last time I presented, I talked about our new student management database system. It has a student portal component to it, and we've implemented that this year. Super excited. That's the web address or the link to that portal, and then the QR code that will take you to that portal. In just a second, I'm going to have Luke switch to that, and you will have to turn around because I want to show you what it looks like. But I want to make reference to this career development brochure that you have. If you turn to page 7 and 8, it's just a good 2 pages to look at so I can point out what I'm trying to get across here. In this brochure, we always had all of our programs listed, the detailed information, and then we would have the schedule and the costs and everything in there. And with this new student enrollment portal, we decided not to put the schedule and the costs in there because sometimes we have to delay programs for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then if someone picks up a brochure and they'll say, well, it started, I'm too late, when we've already delayed it 3 or 4 weeks and they could still enroll. This student portal allows us to be present and constant, and we can update it daily. And so if you look on pages 7 and 8, you can see the QR codes underneath like each program. That QR code takes individuals directly to the web page for that program that will give them additional information with costs and schedules. And then at the bottom of page 7 and throughout this brochure, we have the same QR code that's up there that'll take them to the enrollment portal so they can go through the enrollment process. So we're super excited about that, and we are putting that QR code everywhere. We just had the athletic program printed, and it was at the first football game last week, and the whole back page is all about Madison First Center and has the QR code. So hopefully, that works well for us. But if you want to switch over to that, Luke, I'll just show you what it looks like. So this link is on every program page on our website. It's on our home page. And when they click on it, it takes them into this portal. And if they're interested, if you want to click dental assisting, they'll click on that, and then it gives you a narrative about the program. And then you can click on the link there to the left that'll take you in and give you the start dates and costs. And then if you hit the apply button, you might want to cancel unless you want to enroll, but that'll take you through the enrollment process then. It'll ask all the questions. They can upload all the required documents and everything through the system. And if you would hit browse courses for me, Luke. If you scroll down, there's the workforce, all these short-term courses. Yeah, if you go into that one, then all of our short-term courses are all listed, and they can click on those and enroll. And if you keep going down, there is a section that has, I think it's there, we can actually highlight courses that are coming up in like the next couple of weeks, so they'll stand out for them as they go through there. I thought it was there, but maybe I'm missing it. Scroll back up for me, please. Maybe there's a link to featured courses. Nope, okay. Well, anyways, there will be, at the bottom, there'll be featured courses. And then what that will do, it goes by dates, and it'll throw the courses out there that's getting ready to start in the next few weeks, so people don't miss them. So we're super excited about that. Okay, that's all. Now you can turn back around and look at your paper. Okay. Oh, where'd you go? Okay. Accreditation renewal, I shared that with you at the last meeting that I presented. We are still working through that process. We submitted our self-evaluation report on July 28th, and now we're just waiting for the on-site visit. It's a huge process, timely process. We're hoping to have that on-site visit later this fall and hopefully be awarded a 5-year accreditation sometime in the spring. So where we're at with that. And then another super exciting, our cosmetology lab and theory room renovation project is finally complete. It's been about 1.5 years. It was a $485,000 project approximately. 85% of that was covered through Adult Ed's COVID-19 emergency relief and school improvement funds. The other 15% Career Tech picked up. And we were able to use those funds because of the social distancing, the spacing, the design, adding the theory classroom, improving the ventilation exhaust system, and that's what allowed us to use that money to be able to do the renovation. So What you'll see here are some pictures of the new lab. I hope all of you saw it before the renovation. It's pretty dark and crowded. So here's some pictures of our reception area. We have 2 ventilated nail stations now. You can see the lab there with 8 stations. Actually, there are 8 stations, but front and back, so you can get 16 students. And then our refreshment area that we have for individuals while their hair is processing. We don't normally have cookies and lemonade, but that was taken at the night of open house. But we will have coffee and water and different things. Some additional pictures. The one in the upper left-hand corner is our facial massage room. We have 4 pedicure chairs, pedicure stations now. The one in the upper right-hand corner, that is the latest and greatest hair processing halo kind of thing that works over you while you're drying and processing. We're super excited about that. And the lower left-hand 2 pictures is our dispensary taken from each end. So just wanted to show you that, to show you that area. That's where all the behind the scenes, where the processing color and everything is done in that area. And the storage that we have now is amazing. The 2 pictures on the bottom right is the theory classroom. All those stations are powered, so they can use blow dryers, curling irons, work on mannequins there. They can do nails on those stations as well. So we're super excited. These are just some before and after pictures. The top 3 are what it looked like before, and then just some before and after. That third one over on the bottom, you can kind of see how packed we had to do the classroom in the lab because we didn't have a classroom designated for cosmetology. And then the student salon, I want to announce this, is open Tuesday through Thursday from 5:30 to 9:30 for appointments. I've had people, staff, call me and say, I didn't know you guys did this at night. And so we've been posting all over Facebook, but we are bombarded with appointments right now. They found out we're open and super excited. We've been doing lots of business. It's good practice for our students too. So call us if you need a haircut or your nails done. And then last, I'm not going to read through these. I announced this before. I was hoping more people would be here tonight to see all this exciting stuff. But we still have so many grants and scholarships available for individuals that want to take training with us, in addition to the federal financial aid, which is student loans and Pell Grants. We have all of these grants and scholarships available. Individuals can take training for almost free. If any, they're paying just a little bit. So just wanted to share that we still have all of that available for people. And that's it. Any questions?
Thank you,
Okay,
Sonia.
thanks.
Thanks, Sonia.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Next, we have approval of donations. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
It was me.
It was Amy that.
Oh, it was Amy?
Yes.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mr. Mosher.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4. Treasurer's report. We need a motion to accept. So moved. Second,
I'll second.
discussion.
Okay, even though July was busy, financially it was pretty much flat, and it's a good thing. Revenues, 97% of our revenues in July came from the state because, we didn't get any real estate, there's nothing much going on, and because we're in the middle of a biennium budget, nothing changed with the state, so we were really flat. I mean, $400 difference in $1.5 million, I would say, is flat, which is good. I did point out that the true days in cash dropped a lot in July. You'll see them go back up in August, because in August we received a real estate settlement from the county. And as far as expenditures were down, but that's, once again, was due to the purchase services because of the state revenue biennium budget with the open enrollment. Since not a lot of things were going on, I mean, didn't have buses, there weren't sports activities, there weren't things going on. 90% of the expenditures in July were salaries and benefits. They were still down, things were still down, but even though they were down, it wasn't a very active. I mean, there was nothing significant or no anomalies to report, so that was good. Like I said, August, you're going to see quite a bit different just because we received the revenue from our real estate. And we'll talk about forecasts and expenditures and everything more at the work session, but, we'll see how things go. The forecast won't be complete until October, November, but I'm working on it as we speak, so. Before I move on, do you have any questions on that? And then number 2, acceptance of 4 grants. We had 4 educators, I think 1 principal and 3 teachers that applied for grants for the Richland County Foundation. And I guess on behalf of the board, I'd like to thank the Richland County Foundation for so generously giving those grants for those specific items. And that's it for the treasurer's report. Do you guys have any questions before I move on? Mind if I do the roll?
Roll call.
Mr. Mosier.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4. Next is item K, matters related to personnel. And I think that's, yeah. I need a motion for that.
I'll motion.
Second? Second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4. Item L, superintendent's business. We need a motion to accept.
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Just want to comment on a couple of those items. Number 2, revising the eligibility requirements for teachers for continuing contract. I've been reviewing that since the spring, and I think this, while the change is not overly significant, I think it will bring our requirements in line with what the law says. It won't prohibit any teacher who currently meets the requirements from not meeting the requirements, but may open the door for somebody who doesn't meet the requirements now, who may with the update. So I think it's an appropriate change. Number 3, increasing the mowers' wage to $13 per hour. Typically, the mowers make the same amount as substitute custodians, and we raised the substitute custodians, I believe, last month or 2 months ago. And so wanted to bring this in line with that. And then number 4, we'll be looking to purchase 2 buses for next school year, and this just gives us the authority to have the Ohio Schools Council Cooperative to advertise and receive bids on our behalf. It doesn't require us to purchase the bids, but because they're so far behind in production of buses, we got to order them this year to get them
Yesterday, yeah.
for next year. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all.
Okay. Roll call?
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4. I assume no visitors have wandered in the last 30 minutes, so we'll move on. The next board meeting will be September 28th. We do have a work session on the 14th for the board. And are we touring buildings?
Still working on that.
Okay. And then we need to appoint a delegate and an alternate to the Ohio School Boards Association. So, Mrs. Cotterman, you're the delegate,
Yes.
and you're the
I'll
assistant,
be the
or the
alternate.
backup for us?
Yep.
Okay. We'll do that. And the Records Commission meeting, do I need a motion for that Records Commission?
No, I just have to,
Just
I just have
notification that we're doing it.
certification that we did it, and that's why I had you I had that document. If you
Okay.
guys, I mean, I can tell you how many boxes and stuff if you really want to know, but there's a boatload.
No, that's probably.
Mr.
It's okay.
Mr. Peterson will attest to that walking through our office.
Seen a few boxes over there, yes.
Understand. Okay, if there's no further business, I need a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Mosher. 4. Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4. 30 minutes. Hope everybody's happy.
Yes.